What's up, you guys? So today we are back with another video, and actually tomorrow is PrizzaMikes project car meet. And well, if you guys have watched for a while, you'd know we went to his last meet. Last meet we actually took our NA 4-seater 300ZX with the Ganadors, did a little bit of bay dress up, this and that, just to, you know, kind of make it a little more presentable. This car has a few things going on with it. Mainly my throwout bearing. It's just hard for me to bring myself to pull the transmission just to do something so little, you know, without wanting to do a bunch of other stuff. So actually the last two videos, we've been working on our 92 Slicktop 300ZX. First video, we went ahead, pulled the drivetrain from our old drift car, put everything into the Slicktop, because I've actually driven this whole setup probably 5,000 miles previously, and I know that it works, and it works well. So previously we've two-tone swapped to red and black, but last video we actually showed you guys how to wire each of your gauges up, and we went ahead and added an AFR gauge to our setup now. We're officially down to finishing the rest of this car because we got to plate it and we have to drive it 4 hours away if all goes well, and we have a day to prepare for such an event. Our goal today, get this thing started for the first time. We haven't started it in this chassis yet. We've plugged away everything else with the exception of our test pipes, our engine mount nuts, our clutch master slave cylinder and clutch line, which is right here ready to go, mounting our bumper and getting this thing fired up and ready to run for the first time in forever. So yesterday, in the midst of running all of my gauges, we actually ran the power wire to our fuel pump that is in turn going to go up here to the positive terminal on the battery. I think the first thing we're going to start with today is actually wiring in this fuel pump the rest of the way so we can have that work, so you know we can actually start the car. Biggest thing you need to start your car is some fuel. See that wire back there? We went ahead and ran it all along and popped up back there, but now we actually have to swap our relay, ground, power, and signal wire all over from our drift car, which, yes, we actually took it all out of this to put it in our Slicktop. We are going to be doing another portion of our NATT video on how to hardwire your fuel pump and run it off a relay like we have here. I do have an old style video of this way back when I first kind of started my channel. It's really tough to watch and I want to revamp it with the little bit of knowledge that I've gained over the years and my comfortability with recording now. I actually think it'll benefit you guys a lot. Now let's unhook all this and get it prepped so we can install it over there on our Slicktop. I hope you guys didn't just notice that teaser I just realized I mistakenly set up. I didn't want to show you guys yet, but oops, wait till next video. Dang near got everything completely hooked up. We actually need to grab a fuse because while we was trying to troubleshoot, you know, test and turn the key to make sure everything works before we pulled the camera out, we actually didn't have luck and we was sitting here chasing our tail for quite a bit. And honestly, in retrospect, looking back at myself, it's kind of dumb of myself, I'm gonna be honest. I knew I should have did what caused this a long time ago, but I've just held it off for whatever reason. We actually blew our fuse swinging the power wire around, so yikes, let's grab another. Well, you know, I got some on the bench. But the reason why it did it is we actually need to put the ECU in. Since we're using our stock power wire for our fuel pump control unit to power our relay for our trigger wire, you gotta have your ECU for that. This whole time I kept turning the key, it would get power, but it wouldn't get a signal. It would do like a double click, didn't sound right. And I was just losing my mind here. Put our ECU in, and then we can put our fuse in. Luckily, I knew I was gonna have to pull all this out, so I didn't really put it back. As I like to repeat myself all the time, because you know I do the same stuff all the time. With seating your ECU connector, make sure you do it evenly. When it starts to bow or go crooked, make sure you straighten it out before it gets too bad. You can jam pins or dislodge pins and have all kinds of issues. Now we can just kind of throw everything back into place for now. So we do still have to get back under here. Got a little bit left to do. Nothing crazy, nothing really video worthy. Kick on our jump pack, get attacked by a butterfly. Now let's see if this thing primes up. Please relieve some of my pain. Still nothing. I'm an idiot. We forgot the biggest thing here. Yeah. I don't know if you heard that, but I definitely did. sit here and idle it a bunch. I gotta put exhaust on, and I don't want to put exhaust on burning hot downpipes. Let's go in, grab, I don't know, lunch, I guess. It's that time. Get a drink so we don't overheat out here, and let's get back to work. I think we're all good to go ahead and put our parcel tray back in. First, we'll lay out this little protective underlayment piece. Nothing should be bothered here. Keyword should be, you know. I guess we can go ahead and thread a couple of these on. Since it's actually bricked, it's not supposed to look like that. That's why we're trying to get that convertible done over there so we can trade it to get this thing fixed. So you can definitely see how pushed up that is. Should not look like that. Well, that looks way better. Now let's finish it off with both of our caps. Sweet. I really want to get it fixed too so I can actually put these interior pieces in. The only reason the black one's still in here is because it's so broken that it actually fits. I think now's a good time that we go ahead and hook up our clutch system so that way we can, you know, cross this off the list. And once we're down there, we can put the engine mount nuts on and then take the test pipes out. Well, off the list, I should say. We have them right here, just disconnected them from this H pipe. We should all be good to go. I just got to find a couple bits of hardware for it so we can make sure that it, you know, is tight and seals good. Guess we should take these nuts off so we can actually get the dude in. And your biggest job here is just keeping your master cylinder forks straight when you guide this in. And it's nice to pop this little top grommet off right there if you have an NA, so that way you can look inside and you can kind of see where to point those forks. Because if you don't get them high enough on the clutch pedal where it's like even, you're gonna have problems, you know, getting it on completely. And once you think you got it straight, throw it on. Put one nut on so that way it doesn't back out. Now that that's roughly in place, we're going to go check the pedal and we're going to make sure that it's actually in the correct position. We're slightly off. You can see on this side that the fork's actually not on the pedal. It's all the way to the right over here. Now let's take our clevis pin and put it in. Our pin is now hooked up. Now let's finish bolting up the master to the firewall. I'm telling y'all, I can't win for nothing. We've got all this stuff to get done. Probably like 15 things on this list. And look what's rolling into town. A fresh storm. Never fails. And the mat that I'm using underneath the car, I need to use to protect this from the water. Right now, all I gotta do is hope and pray that this does not continue all night and it's only gonna be like an hour instead of the projected 3 hours that it says. If it's really 3 hours, we're screwed. I guess we'll be back once we figure out what to do about the rain situation. It's the next day, and we're starting off by bleeding some coolant, putting some power steering fluid in, and topping up our oil. We just idled it for a minute so the oil should circulate. Then, ooh, forgot I had the bleeder off over here, gee whiz. We put the test pipes on. We did a few things on the underside. We actually got the clutch system all fixed yesterday. We just had to put the GoPro down, get under the car, get what we could done before that storm rolled in, and it did very shortly after. See, that clutch fluid is brand new and clean. We actually just fired it up. We've seen a bunch of moisture coming out of different parts on the exhaust, so we have some exhaust leaks to fix. So we need to do that before we move on to putting the car on the ground, idling it out, and bleeding all of our fluids. I hate to be that guy, but we've kind of just been rolling with the punches here, not picking up the camera much, because now we have 3 hours to go and the car is still up on the jack. We at least got the back off. We got our rear wheels switched because we're actually going to swap these to our fronts over here off our 2+2. And we're actually going to take that bumper here very shortly. We did fire it up and run it for a bit. Our power steering fluid is all bled out. Coolant is topped up and has been ran through the funnel. And our oil has been checked, topped after it settles. Now once we closed off this system, we brought the rest of our coolant over here to drop inside our overflow. Had some crazy leak somewhere, have no idea where. Come down here to look for it, push on this to see if there's any fluid, and it literally just cracked and crumbled. Kind of like that. So we went and grabbed this one over off our white Z, and we're about to replace that. Then we're down to washing it, sweeping it, and those wheels and bumper. Theoretically, we should be done after that. With a little bit of test driving though, obviously. I'm a little nervous still, just the lack of drive time on this car, and we're putting so much faith into it to drive it 4 hours away. We'll see. I've never had a reason to not trust this Z, so hopefully it doesn't give me a reason not to. Now we're over here on our 2+2 daily. We went ahead and took all of our hardware out for the front bumper. Yep, it comes off easy peasy. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to take one of these fog lights just to kind of fill the gap over here in my bumper since it's missing. Let's actually take this off, see if this is sticking. Yep, looks good. We dabbed some RTV on some sealant my dad put under here years ago just to make it stick, to make it actually stick again, because it was like flopping way off. So I think it's time. Let's go snag those wheels. Let's put these bad boys on. I got no time to burn. Wheels on. One more thing done off the list. Now I think it's time for us to go mount our bumper. New bumper is fully installed. We got it to kind of massage it around those intercooler ducts. Thankfully we got that situated. A little bit less than favorable gap over here, but it's expected. We definitely need to put some bumper brackets to use here. Now we got the shop back out and we're ready to clean up and sweep up some of the inside here. It's currently 2:30. If we want to leave at 3 o'clock, that puts us there right when the meet starts. This is getting really stressful, and part of me is starting to believe I'm not going to make it. I still got to change out my mirrors and wash the car. Who knows? I may not even wash the dang thing because I don't even have soap. One of you guys educated me that Dawn dish soap is not good to wash your car, so I don't know what to do. Now we're all swept up and clean. Let's take a test drive over to grab some E85, fill the car up, see how it goes. We're currently 10 minutes late to leaving and getting there on time. So we're gonna see how the car feels, reacts, and acts, and hopefully all will be good to go. Oh, my first blow off. I've only done it revving and idle. That was sick. If this actually works out, this is all gonna be like 100 miles per gallon on the way up to Chicago. Let's see. Let's go grab some to eat. Alright, so I'm like crying right now. I don't know if I just in my head had to, you know, tell myself, hey, like blowout valves aren't that cool. Because, you know, there used to be an SRT4 that would cruise through town all the time, letting the blow-off valve rip by me and all my friends hanging out, and we loved it. I think it could be the fact that I have 2 of them, so it's like twice as loud, but oh my gosh, dude, when you are boosting, this thing screams. Check this out. I really hope it'll give it some justice here in the car. That's so loud. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, literally like a kid in a candy store. Alright, let's head back to the gas station and see what's up. Fortunately, the E prices are still ridiculous here, but 7 gallons down, maybe 10 to go. I was just about on the money. Sweet. Shake it first. I mean, as of right now, it's running pretty good. It's got a few little quirks, like watch when I hit the gas. It stumbles a little bit. Let's see what these do. But we've definitely got something to figure out. We've got about 30 minutes to figure out what we're doing before we go home and just leave to head over. My biggest thing right now is I don't have a way to charge my phone, so yeah. Alright, let's give you some blow-off action. Well, I noticed I'm not over boosting anymore. That's a huge plus. That makes me so happy, you have no idea. 15 feet. do, I just don't have a working blower motor. I'm thinking that I forgot a relay when I was messing with our gauge wiring down below the glove box, so maybe it's just not firing up. It's honestly what I'm hoping, because if I don't have defrost, I'm kind of a sitting duck, let's be honest. Look at this crazy sky. It's literally blowing like mad fast. You can just see it hauling by. Well, I think I decided. We went ahead, we loaded up the car with everything that we may need, especially that I can recall. Tools and whatnot. I think we're just gonna send it. If it gets to the point that we have no choice but to turn back, we'll turn back. But we'll be back when we figure out what's going on. Will we go? Will we stay? Well, we weren't gonna let doubt and reason slow us down. Yeah, seems not smart, but screw it, we're sending it. We're actually headed over. We've been fighting through the rain, as you can tell. We're completely fogged up. I've looked at all the weather radars. It doesn't look like it's supposed to rain on the way back, like at all this evening. So I'm thinking we should be good. If not, I guess we'll have to jump that hurdle once we get there. Tell you what, it feels awesome driving the Z with all this two-tone red. It just makes it that much more enjoyable to drive. I love it. We're officially about an hour and a half into our trip. 2.5 hours to go. At least the weather's looking up. And now we're stuck in like standstill traffic. Thank goodness we only got 1.5 miles of this, but it's way too hot for this. That's all I gotta say. So we've been cruising for another hour now. We're down to almost a full hour away. We're actually in Peyton's neck of the woods right now in Kankakee, so we're almost there. Hopefully we can make it there in time to see him before he heads to Chicago. There goes this big old bridge. We're only 30 minutes out. Yay! Oh, we finally made it. So let's go check out some cars and see what we're getting into. There's quite a bit of stuff out here that we get to pick from. I have to say the turnout's way better than last time. The G33s are the way to go on the Z. Let's go see what we can find as far as sick project cars. I do see one back here that I'm really interested in. It's actually an NSX. I was just told by Mike it's actually a K-swap, so really interested in checking this out. And here she is. Not only does this paint go insanely hard, I think this is the 3rd NSX I've seen. It's gorgeous. Yeah, look at that. Tag if you want to check it out. Look what almost went under our nose here. Man, the only one I've ever seen is Brad's, so it's pretty sick to see this, especially with no bolster wear. This thing is sick. Wow, that's like the best stock example I could imagine. Definitely that I've ever seen. Especially these things have a tendency to like fade out and go opaque. It's crazy. It's S14, S14C. I'm almost used to seeing it in my S13 that I forget that they're actually S14Cs. Really goes hard with that combo. Now this thing is sick. Oh man. Honeycomb carbon fiber top? Damn. That is dirty. Soft spot for black and yellow if you couldn't tell. Slammed on its nuts. Now I can't just go over here without checking out this Prelude, because this purple is nuts. I knew it had to be on air. How else you gonna do that? Now I seen this first thing when I came in, and I think it's pretty rad. Got a hard body, all stickered up. Ooh. If I could get a wrap like this on a Z for Gabby, it'd be game over. She'd be all about it. So far, I think this is the only SC I've came across. This is with the carbon fiber hood, gander doors, maybe GK Tech, who knows. I almost feel like these are like the Z's. You really just don't see them out and about very often. I gotta do like a double take on this. I can't tell if this is a wrap or if it's like painted. I think it's a wrap. I think I just answered my own question. Either way, that is sick. And here's a super nice 180. Old red top. I really like that seat. Let's go back over that so we can check into that for ourselves. And this is the cleanest stock example FC I think I've ever seen. This thing's gorgeous. Oh, sorry Corey, there's your aero mirrors. Too soon? I partially even feel bad for bringing this thing. It is so underwhelming, it's so dirty. I don't know. We made it though, that's all that matters. And actually appears we have been sticker bombed. Other than Mike, we've only got one Z here. It's actually his brother at that. These flames look way more player in person than they do in the video. You really can't even see it.
You got the food with. Where's CJ? Hold on.
Now I seen this earlier and there was too many people around it to come up and check it out. But dang dude, S15 with the Ganadors? Oh, they're not playing over here. Wow, it smells like coolant. It smells like syrup. Not this car, but just in general. Dang, dude. LMGT5s. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not what they do when you import a car? It might be something they do in Japan before it goes on the boat. Let me know in the comments if you guys have bought any JDM cars. Well, so far we've pretty much covered everything. So I think now we're just gonna throw the GoPro back in the car and we're just gonna kind of hang out, take all this in, and if we see anything else cool, we'll be sure to let you guys know. But until then. Well, the meet was a total success. Got to kick it with Mike for a bit, check out some pretty sweet cars. Got us a new shirt. Now, it's time for us to begin our ride home. Actually, first we need to go grab some gas because we're at about a little under a quarter. So, yeah, we got to find some eat. Luckily, I think we found a Meijer close by, so let's see if we can find it. Not a terrible price. Or it can just leak all over my car. Finally filled up. What's the verdict? Not bad. Looks like we're about $100 in this trip. Probably 20 more than we needed to. We probably could make it up here on 80 bucks. Not really sure what's going on up here. Dude, these overpasses make these blow-up valves so loud. Now the real battle begins. It's like the 8-lane Madman highway. Well, you guys officially made it back. I know you guys ain't gonna be able to see anything at all, but we'll catch you guys in the morning and we'll pick up with the rest of the video. Well, you guys, it's the next evening. Needless to say, I was pretty tired last night. Once we got home, we didn't actually crash out until 5 in the morning because, I don't know, we just wasn't tired when we got home. So, I was originally going to plan to do something a little special to my Slicktop today. However, I think we're going to hold off on it primarily for the reason I've already got the thumbnail. And I actually have something else that's cool that I would like to put with this car when I put these on. But we were going to slap some Ganadors on this thing today, considering we actually took them off the 4-seater. Change of plans. We're probably just going to wrap it up here. It's like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm beat. Probably go back over here to our white Z. We'll start to work on it again. And basically all I got to say is, for those of you guys who like the Slicktop content, it's here to stay. I have no reason to pull the motor out of this thing. And honestly, I'm not going to. I had way too much fun driving this car. I've honestly fell back in love with it. It's even better than it was before. And now I'm ready just to keep it on the road. Let's keep modifying it and putting a couple touches on it. now that it actually drives, we'll fully be able to drive this down to Indianapolis to get it fixed, get our rear end pulled out, dollied out, and hopefully get our quarters realigned and start to, you know, have a solid rear end on this car that's not all wrecked and the hatch actually shuts. And honestly, the biggest deal at this point is that's one less car in my yard. It's driving me insane having all these cars around here. That's why we're going gung-ho on the Slicktop, and let's start getting this car finished, or continue the build, you know, and start to enjoy this car some more. And I hope you guys are excited for the content. Hope you guys liked the video. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll catch you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.